Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. There's probably nobody watching this stream today because of my issues with OBS. Yay! Good to see you, OBS. Thanks for coming to the party today. But I'm just going to go ahead anyway and get through this show. So if you are here, welcome to the live chat. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. So let's, without further ado, crack on. I do apologize to everybody. My phones are going off like crazy. I haven't even had a chance. Let me just fix this. Silent. Sorry, guys. I've been cursing quite loud. Today. So I'll let you know what happened. This is really interesting. So, and there's going to be some cursing. So if you're a fan of StreamYard, fuck you. No, sorry, I don't mean that. So anyway, last night I was on GarageBand Users Live with Ron Ward and Brian Bigler, and they use StreamYard. And so I use OBS into StreamYard, and I have set up a different scene to go into StreamYard. Now, let's be honest. StreamYard is a bag of shit, right? It has the worst sound, has the worst video quality. It is absolutely fucked on so many levels. The only bit of value you get out of StreamYard is the ability to put chat up on the screen. And you know how much it costs to use StreamYard in Australia per month? Almost $50. $50 a month to put up. So I'm having a rant right here. So anyway, basically why I'm pissed off at StreamYard and not OBS. So in StreamYard's infinite wisdom yesterday, it decided to manipulate my the IP address that connects to the internet through OBS. It actually changed it, and it locked it down so I couldn't actually get out of it. I had to switch off a whole bunch of features within OBS to be able to then go back to the default setting of my IP. StreamYard is a piece of shit. It really is on so many levels. Now that I've got it out of my system, I feel so much better. I hate that platform. I'll never use it again. It sucks that I have to go on GBU Live every Wednesday and suffer the goddamn pain of that shit. But here we are. So now that the bitch is out the way, let's get into today. We are looking at Fundamental. And Fundamental is really damn cool. What it actually does is it is a... You know what? Let's let the developer explain exactly what it does so much better than me. So we'll just load it up here in the App Store. Now, it comes at a price. It's expensive. I'm not going to piss in your pocket. I hate, leading people down the garden path with things like this. But it cost me $15. And I'll be honest, I normally don't buy things like this. A sonic kind of noise I don't buy these things. So let's have a look. This is what it says here. The opening line says it all. Sonic Lab Fundamental is a collab of Sinan Bogkosoy and Heinbach, though it feels like something Stockhausen, Xenakis, and HAL 9000 might have dreamed up after a bender. So you can expect a lot of crazy sounds. Fundamental is a sound synthesis software tool combining different roots of electronic music history. Its wave engine is a faithful recreation of a vintage Roden Schwartz vacuum tube oscillator. So I'll tell you why I'm doing something on this app today. Now, I don't normally do a lot of synthesizer stuff because I play more guitar stuff and rock and that kind of thing. But I do have another band called Utensils where I've been doing that music since about 1999, and we've got a whole bunch of albums out. And what we do is try to create noise, terror, soundscapes, horror, doom, stuff that's annoying. I mean, we've done demos where we've burnt things down. We've filled up halls full of musicians who have never met and have very different skill sets of playing music to try and create walls of noise and frequencies. But see, that's the difference between me and a lot of people who use like synthesizers and stuff to create these noises. I like to create things on a human level using real world things. And on one of my last Utensils albums, a lot of the soundscapes and stuff I made from household objects, bottles with water, balloons with Vaseline on them, polystyrene being rubbed on things, to try and create the same thing as what this app actually does, but with frequencies. So why am I looking at this today? So now they've had a little bit of a description of what this is about and such. I'm looking at this today because I'm doing an album for an EP for Songtember. And what's really cool... Oh, that's nice, Josephine. That's because I'm transgender. So, but you'll get used to that first time here. Oh, I should say hello to the chat. I'm looking at it, but not paying attention today. So, who is here? G'day, Russ and Tom Rochelle. So, thanks both for sticking around. Okay, so let's jump into what this app can do. So it's quite complex and it's quite small. That's the first thing I'm going to throw off the bat with this app. Why I'm using it is for my EP. I want to create some soundscapes for the start of each song, because every song on my album is kind of a death metal dystopian horror kind of feel about how the world is all divided at the moment, and we're heading to a lot of chaos with coronavirus and all this stuff going on. No, you didn't offend me, Josephine. I'm just having a bad day. My stream started very late today, so if I come off short, I do apologize. I'm trying to find the zen. Let's just take a moment. Have a cup of coffee. Zen. All right, so let's get off the bat with this app. When you load it up, so it's an AUV3 plugin, okay? You can use it as a standalone, and you can use it within a DAW or within something like AUM. But as you see, when I load it up, this is a full screen here. I'm going to say this to the developer. Why does it not take up the full screen of my beautiful iPad 12.9 inch Pro? Look at that. Look how much real estate is wasted. It's unbelievable. Look at all of this. This should be totally full screen. It's really sad for the amount of buttons on here. So we've got that out the way. That's really annoying. But let's have a look at this thing. So it looks extremely complicated, and it can be. But here's the thing. There's no mistakes when using this thing, because it's not really a musical instrument like drums or piano or anything like that as an AUV3 plugin. It's a noise generator. It's a sonic frequency creator. So you can mess around with it. You can already see the whole lot of stuff moving around down here in the bottom. So let's break down what each section is, and we'll create some craziness. Now we'll just make sure I've got some sound here. So I'm going to trigger it immediately. And let's see. Let's turn it off, because I had to reboot my computer because I had some issues today. Let's try and trigger it now. Give it some volume. And I'm not getting any sound. That's really cool, isn't it? I'll just make sure we do have sound working through my... Play a second of this. And no. Awesome. Everything's going really well today. We love it, don't we? Let's open a GarageBand project. Make sure I've got the sound coming through. Oh, there we go. So we do have sound.
Oh, another scammer just went onto my PC over here. Huh.
So I can close down YouTube. All right, so what's going on here? Let's load a preset just to get this started. Cool, now we got some sound. Sorry about that, folks. So this is a preset just built straight into it, okay? Nice and cool. Yeah, I do. You can go to my website, jadestarr.com.au. I play in about 5 bands. So let's have a look and see what this thing can do. Okay. All right. So we'll start down the bottom here. You have these down here, you've got these 2 little sections. You've got a vintage and you've got a user set. These are really important. So when you click on them, as I said, it's really small. It opens up and says vintage or pure. So we'll touch on the differences between this, the rawness of the sounds that you get from this. And then under here, you've got a user set and a harmonic. Okay, so we're going to stick with the user set first, and then we will go into the harmonic setup from there. Now, up the top here, this little L, this is to load your presets. So when you turn that on, you get a whole bunch of presets across the top here. And the little S next to it is to save a preset. So all good there. Now, when you click, you've got some banks up the top here. So you've got 4 banks. You can create your own banks as well, and you can switch between these. So then when you hit load again, you get a whole bunch of different things you can start going, from a preset. Now, if I just turn up one of these, so here are your 8 frequency levels. In the middle here, this is like a scale. So think of a guitar scale, okay, for your frequencies, and these control all 8 of each of the notes of the scale. So if I turn this up here and then hit the trigger up here to play, this is where you always kick things off. I think I need to just go to start at something basic there. Whoa! Crazy shit. Let's go to, we'll go to this basic fundamental here. Okay. It's because we've got it set to harmonic. God, I'm off my game today. I should have just... Okay. See if I can find one that's stagnant. Which I can't, for some reason. Alright, here we go. This one's stagnant. So these are your levels here. You could, if I turn all these down, let's pull them all down. And we'll just leave the first one running. So that's your first one. Okay. Now I can go ahead with this knob up the top here. And I can change the frequency of this first one. Okay, you can see the little clock in the middle moving. And I'm turning that first knob up here, up to this side. And if I bring up the second one, third, fourth, if I bring them all up, I don't want to blow people's ears out, but you can see you can create a whole mess of noises within here. Okay, now if you're following my mouse there, these are this little button that's colored here. When that's clicked, this gives you the gain of each of these channels. Okay, let's bring them all up. Now if you click the button next to it, you've got a volume boost. So you can, what the volume boost does for each channel, it's like a distorted, so it distorts it a little bit more. It doesn't like blow it out, but it gives you a little bit more of a raw, just kind of like what's the word I can't think of? Not distortion, but a bit more aggressive. So a volume boost, that's what it's called. And the next button there, I'm just going to pull down the volume a bit, or just turn it off. So the next button here is a fine tune. So if I just change this first one here, you can hear how I'm fine tuning just one of them. And then the last one for P is for panning. So you can do some really extreme panning if you've got headphones on. I can start panning each of these 8 frequencies, left and right, extreme or not. Now we move over to this side of things. So we'll go right over to the far left, and here this controls actually like the height, the lowest and the highest range of frequency. So you can pull the high right out, so nothing will go past that. So it's like it's like a limiter for the actual frequencies. I can bring up the low, and you can really tighten it, so you can see that meter in the middle bringing all those frequencies closer together. So that's your range of frequencies within this set. Next to, so I've got this set in the middle here. So this is what have we got? Let's go here. So this is your gain, and you can change the gain within these as well. You can also change the frequency modulation. So let's play with a few of these just quickly. And you can see them start to move. So that's really creepy. Now we can bring all that high pitch stuff right down too, and get this really deep. You can get some really low rumble and stuff like that going on. Now this whole panel over here with these 3 buttons, so you've got your gain, your frequency modulation, and your panning. They can also be fine-tuned over here. So you've got gain here, panning down here, and your frequency modulation over here. So let's have a play with some of these. So this is like a smooth. So you see as I lift it up, it smooths it out a little bit. And then you've got a rate. Now again, you've got gain options over here. And of course you've got waveforms over here, so you've got your triangles and stuff like that, these little patterns. And again, look, I wish this interface was so much bigger because everything's so small. If you click on the word, what is that? You get a drop down box of your different waveforms. So you can click through these. And the same over here with your gains, you've got presets built in over here. And here's your panning as well. So it's pretty crazy stuff. There's a lot of things going on. And as you can see, we've still got a really tight range on here. So let's widen this out a bit, if we can. And you also have down here to the side, you've got scales. So you can actually change the scales. Let's change it to a major. We'll turn this off for a minute. Let's try a different sound just to mix things up a bit. Now I'm going to head through some presets, because this will show you how the user set changes as well. So each time you change to a different preset, you just hit the trigger button to turn them on. So this one's clearly got a slower kind of modulation going on. And again, I can change to a Dorian. So how I'm using this is for the beginning of my songs, each song's going to have a few layers of these things, and I want them to build up to be, I'm trying to create like a dystopian, I don't know if anybody's seen the film Eraserhead by David Lynch. There's a lot of really dystopian, dark, soundscapey kind of noises, and I'm going to be using this to actually build up a bunch of soundscapes from this to create something really dystopian to lead into each of the songs. So we'll just skip through a few more of the presets and hit trigger. Now what you'll notice, well, it's hard to notice because everything's so small. Down here, this little section here which I showed you at the start, which gives you a user set or a harmonic, this is changed to harmonic. And when the harmonic becomes active, you get a lot more options to play with this panel down here. So I can change this. Again, this is a smoothing. The third one on each of these is always a smoothing. And what also happens when you change to harmonic here, these knobs along the top, they stop controlling each of these 8 tracks, and everything becomes controlled by number 1. As you'll see. And you can change these individually. Just bring that down again. It's missing a master volume too, which sucks. I wish that could, but I can change these individually. And then go back to the master over here. So I've barely scratched the surface with this even today. So just, there's so much going on. You can really delve deep into this and really get some disturbing tonal stuff happening. I mean, with 8 different tracks of tonalities, that's really cool. So, and above here too, this vintage thing which I pointed out, you can switch between vintage and pure and you'll hear the difference. So vintage has a real raw, old school analog kind of sound, and pure is just a much cleaner version of that. So if you're really wanting to pull some distortion out of it, you know, I would use the vintage section. Also, you'll notice here there's underneath this harmonic here, there's a rate and speed. So you can change things there. Now let's have a look at these 2 little options up here. So up here you can choose, you've got 3 different selections here, and this little button here though, so this changes your envelope next here, but this little arrow here, and I know it's really hard to see, you've got 4 options here. So one of them is like this continuous just on. This one's just like a once off trigger. So when you do this, hit it once, it'll turn up. And it should just stay till you turn it off. Now the next one down, I think, is it goes up and then it actually stops. I think that's what this one does. There you go. So it goes up and then comes down, and you can control the length of that, how long you want that to go. So you can see it's set to 3 seconds here, and the final one. Oops, let's just stop the trigger. This is like a continuous loop. This 4th one. This is the one I use the most. So it'll just keep going up and down. It should do. Yeah. But let's go through a few more presets, because I'm not going to be able to get through, you know, the majority of this stuff today. There's so much depth to this. And the beautiful thing is, oh man, see, I get off on this stuff. Listen to that. That is demented. So what's that preset? That's number 3. Wow. So let's show you how I'm going to use it into GarageBand, because you know, and it's hard to, like, if you haven't used AUM before, I'm going to use AUM to put it into GarageBand today. It's not something you can just add in GarageBand as an AUV3, because you'll see with GarageBand it creates a keyboard, and this isn't controlled by a keyboard like most AUV3s. This is kind of all built into this modulator. So you have to use something like AUM to actually run an instance of it and then set that to go into GarageBand. I'll show you how to do that quickly, because I haven't really covered AUM on this show, so it's going to be foreign to a lot of people who haven't used it before, but let's do that. So I'm going to shut out, and we're going to load AUM. Let's bring AUM up here. I'm going to create an audio channel. I'm going to open an audio unit extension. We're going to go look for, where are you? Did I pass it? I probably did. Fundamental. So it's loading Fundamental into AUM right now. And what AUM is, I'm going to do a show on AUM soon. Basically you can channel, you can chain link a whole bunch of AUV3 or into App Audio together, and then you can channel it into things like Cubasis, and you can create a whole bunch of AUV3 plugins all running together, synthesizers and stuff. So it's sick. So I'm going to open GarageBand as well. What we're going to do here, down the bottom here, this is the output. Let's get my mouse over it. So this is where I want Fundamental to actually go out to. So I'm going to, where are we? I don't want that. So I'm going to choose, is that what I can't remember. Oh, that's what I got to do. I got to go into open up GarageBand first. Where are we? Okay, so here's the song I'm going to add it to. This is from my EP. So I want something at the beginning of this. So I'm going to create a new track, just an audio track, nice clean track. And then I'm going to click on the little plug up here. Go to Enter App Audio. Am I doing the right thing here? God. So I'm going to hit Instrument, okay, and I'm going to choose AUM Port 1. Now that I've selected that, you'll see it's up here. Now if I click it, it takes me over to AUM, and I should be able to, whoops, God, get it right. You'll see there is GarageBand. So GarageBand has shown up now as this output. So when I click on that, now you'll see GarageBand down the bottom here, and I can now play anything. So I can loop, I can add more AUV3 plugins, I can build a whole chain of synthesizers and stuff, and now run them into GarageBand and record them along with a song. So it's pretty cool AUM, but that's for another show. So let's pop over to GarageBand, get this to the start of the track, and what we'll do, so we'll head back to AUM. Let's open this up. Now with AUM, you can just grab the plugin and play with it, move it to whatever size you want. Let's turn it on. And what did I have set up? I think I had here, it was this one. Cool. Awesome. So I'm just going to stop that for now. Now what's cool, I've got, I can hit record from within here, I do believe. Let's make sure. So yeah, where are we? That's the record, isn't it? Yeah. So down the bottom here, I've got this little record button for GarageBand. So I can just start this. Let's kick this off. Just trigger it. Nice. Whoops. I'm going to hit record in GarageBand. As you can see, it recorded that track there, so that's a good start. Now I'm going to duplicate. I'm pretty sure I can duplicate. Can I, or do I need to create another track? Let's see. Let's take that off record and this one onto record now. Go back to start. Let's find another sound to try and complement that. I'm just going with anything for now, so cool. So let's record this as well. Until the music starts. So we've got two tracks. Let's do a third one. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to build these up. I'm going to find all the right frequencies to try and get them all to complement each other to create this dystopian, this fucking whir that's... I know. I mean, in virtually, I could create a brown noise, really, if I want layers of brown noise. If it even exists. Does it exist? Who knows? But you can create frequencies that can mess with people's minds, make people feel really sick. That's the power of frequencies, and frequencies rock, man. So let's set that to record. We'll go back over here and find another preset. And what I'm going to do is change this setting here and try and take out some of the highs. And we'll start recording again in GarageBand. Alright, so for now, let's just stick with this, because another thing I might put in is some another effect, like of a crowd of people, like a murmur of a crowd, which builds up into some screaming kind of thing. So that's one of the ideas I've got going on. That's for the for this actual track, World Divided. Okay, so what we'll do here now is I'm going to click on one of the tracks, and we're going to go into automation, and I'm going to try, and we're going to automate. Let's do this first. Let's get back into my track view, and I'm going to automate all three of these tracks to get them all to fade in. So we'll turn on automation. We'll set a point there, point there, point there, point at the start, and we'll bring all these down at the beginning. So, so they all fade in for the start of the song. Let's see how this sounds. clearly I need to trim these off. So let's do that now, because we don't want them to bleed into the actual song. And something else I'd probably do here, maybe a reverse cymbal on one of the tracks. So right towards the beginning here, have a reverse cymbal go into the track, just to take out, just to give it a connector into the actual song. So that's, again, something I'll look at. I won't do it right now because already the show's gone long and it started late. So thanks everybody who's here. Thomas, Gary, Hub, Scott, I haven't paid much attention to you guys today because we had such a drama at the start of the show. So thanks guys for being here and bearing with me through this trial and tribulation. So I have a listen to it now, build in into this. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's have a quick look. Let's do this. Let's look at some Apple loops and see if there's a crowd. Oh, we don't want drums. We want to get rid of, so we want to clear that. Is there a crowd sound effect? There should be. Crowd? No. What do we do for that? Instruments. What's it under? Not vocals. I can't remember what genres. Is it under what? Sound effects. There we go. So we got aeroplanes. Nothing under crowd, which is silly. You would think there would be one. I don't want a kazoo. Got a cyber sweep. Here we go. Cool. Let's take this. Let's grab this, bring it into a new track, and we shall chop this here. So we don't need all that. Let's split it, ditch the rest, and let's use this swell to tie these tracks together. So here we go. Probably bring that back a bit. Let's see. Perfect. So, excuse me there. So you can see very easily using this crazy noise, sonic frequency, crazy horror shit. I love it. As I said, look, I normally don't dish out $15 lightly for an app, but I saw this. I saw Doug do a review on this in the sound test room. Was like, you know what? That's exactly what I need for this EP. So it was worth it. It was worth it just to lay the money down because I'm sure I'm going to get so much use out of it for so many other things. There's so much depth to these frequencies that you can play with. And I've barely scratched the surface, but I think this is really incredible. It's going to be a tool in my arsenal that I'm going to use a hell of a lot. I can feel it now. So I recommend it. It's definitely up to you if it's going to be something that it's going to be a part of your toolbox. I'm going to have a listen to this one more time because I like it. I think it sounds sick. I think with an audience kind of screaming, like some kind of panic audience thing, a crowd will sound really good as well. Because this is the world divided. This is the end of the world. That's what this song's about. So that is this wonderful little crazy noise thing. Let's run through, just before we go, we'll run through a few more just that are set up. So these are the presets. You can import presets too that other people have made. You can save presets, you can save banks. Very easy to do. I'm going to be spending way too much time on this. Probably more time than my actual songs. So, yeah, exactly, Russ. Fantastic for things like horror, soundscapes, video games. If you're kind of into making those kind of things, if you're into making avant-garde noise and stuff, and there definitely is a Mac version. I think it started out on Mac and PC, and then they've finally moved this onto iOS. So definitely worth the bucks. And you know, if you're looking to create something, you know, and again, Tom's just said there, you can run it through distortion. And as you saw, I was running it through AUM. You can set up whatever instances you'd like of other things. So, you know, I can add something like, if I quickly just throw in, what have I got in here that's maybe new? So even got Ravenscroft's in there. So you've got synthesizers, synth one, you've got all your effects and stuff like that. What did I have open earlier? I can't remember. So you've got inter-app audio stuff you can do in AUM as well. So you can set up multiple tracks and have all these bleed into each other. It's really damn cool. Shimmer, yeah. So you can add effects to this from here. So what can we add from here? Let's do something quickly. Let's add. Let's just add a stereo lag onto here. I've got it running through GarageBand, don't I? So let's ditch that. Oops. Go over here. So you can add your effects and it's the list of things you can do is limitless. So that's really cool. What's this? Let's grab another effect just quickly. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but those who are into noise and that kind of stuff, like I am, I'm a noise fiend, avant-garde craziness. So there it is. And you can hear it. I've turned off the trigger and it's still dying out. I love that. Man. So anybody into making soundscapes and those kind of things, it is absolutely sick. So that's that in a nutshell. Thank you for sticking around and dealing with my issues today. Thanks to OBS and StreamYard. StreamYard, you can get fucked. I've had it with that thing, and I wish that every Wednesday we didn't have to use it to do GBU Live, because now it's affecting my show. It's such a piece of shit, and I implore you not to use it. That's my take on it. So tomorrow, what's happening? Hopefully Pete's coming on the show tomorrow, and everything will go cool, and we shall have a rant about a lot of stuff. I'll probably bring up StreamYard because I love it so much. But yeah, that's tomorrow's show. We're going to be giving away the copy of each of the DOTEC apps that I covered yesterday's show. So if you haven't already, head over to yesterday's show, leave a comment so you got a chance to win either one of those apps in tomorrow's show. We'll be chatting with Pete tomorrow. I'm going to be working on my Songtember songs today because I spent all day yesterday working on drums for Pete's song, and that's sounding really cool also. And that's about it for today. So thanks, guys, for sticking with me and dealing with the chaos of today. Sorry the show was late. Sorry I went a little bit long, and sorry I've been very sweary and ranty today. But you should have heard the language before I went online. Oh yeah, that was the shit. So that is it today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Do the things that make you happy. Like, share, subscribe. Some little icons are popping up on the screen right now if you're watching on the replay. And you can see a playlist of other stuff on the show. Thank you very much, folks. Have a great day. And I will see you tomorrow with Pete Johns for a bit of a rant. Adios, my friends.